Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving deep, literally, into one of history's most iconic voyages. Ever wondered what it would actually be like to be on the Titanic? Not just the dramatic sinking part, but the whole shebang. Well, grab your imaginary life vests, because we're setting sail. Picture this, April 10th, 1912. Southampton, England. The air is buzzing with excitement, anticipation, and probably a little bit of exhaust from all the fancy cars dropping off passengers. You're standing on the dock, craning your neck to see this colossal ship, the RMS Titanic, glistening in the morning sun. It's not just a ship, it's a floating palace, a technological marvel, an entire city on water. Imagine the sheer awe as you first lay eyes on it. It's like seeing a skyscraper decide it wants to go for a swim. As you walk up the gangplank, the sheer scale hits you. This isn't just big, it's unfathomably big. The deck alone feels like a sprawling park. And the people, thousands of them, all with their own stories, hopes, and dreams, about to embark on this maiden voyage to America. Some are first-class millionaires, others are immigrants seeking a new life. And you? You're right there, in the thick of it. Let's start with your ticket. Depending on your budget, you could be living very, very differently. If you snagged a first-class ticket, oh boy, are you in for a treat. We're talking opulent staterooms, some with private promenades. Think gilded ceilings, plush carpets, ornate furniture, and servants catering to your every whim. You'd probably spend your mornings strolling the A-deck, maybe playing a game of squash, or perhaps taking a dip in the heated swimming pool. Yes, a heated swimming pool on a ship in 1912. That was practically science fiction back then. And don't forget the Turkish baths, where you could relax and be pampered. It was like a luxury resort that decided to move. But what if you were a bit more budget conscious? Second class was still incredibly comfortable. Think of it as a really nice hotel today. You'd have access to a lovely library, a smoking room, and dining saloon that could easily rival many first-class establishments on other ships. The cabins were clean, comfortable, and a vast improvement over what many would have experienced before. And then there was third class, often called steerage. Now, don't let that term fool you into thinking it was squalid. While certainly not as luxurious, Titanic's third-class accommodations were actually quite modern for their time. They had running water, shared but clean dining areas, and bunks with mattresses, blankets, and pillows. A far cry from the cramped, unhygienic conditions of older immigrant ships. People in third class were often dreaming of a new start, leaving behind old lives for new opportunities. Imagine the buzz of excitement in those quarters, full of conversations in dozens of languages, all heading towards the same destination. So, you've settled into your cabin. What's next? Well, you're on vacation. The first day or two would be all about exploring. Imagine yourself wandering through the grand staircase, a true masterpiece of craftsmanship, spiraling down through several decks, crowned by a magnificent glass dome. Sunlight streams in, illuminating the polished oak and intricate ironwork. You'd probably feel like you're in a movie set, honestly. It's so grand, it practically whispers, "You've made it!" Mealtimes were an event, especially in first class. Imagine a 10-course dinner. Oysters, salmon, roast duckling, lamb with mint sauce, foie gras, punch roman, roast squab, cold asparagus vinaigrette, pâté de foie gras, and finishing with a Waldorf pudding. And peaches in chartreuse jelly. Phew, you'd need a good walk after that. Even in third class, the food was hearty and plentiful. Things like roast beef and plum pudding. No one was going hungry on the Titanic. But it wasn't just about eating. There were social activities galore. If you were in first class, you might attend a concert in the reception room, perhaps a chamber orchestra playing classical tunes, or maybe a lively dance in the evening. Gentlemen could retire to the smoking room for cigars and brandy, discussing business or politics. Ladies might gather in the reading and writing room, exchanging gossip or penning letters to loved ones back home. Imagine the conversations, the connections being made, the friendships blossoming, or perhaps even a little shipboard romance. The air would be thick with possibility. Now, let's fast forward a bit. It's April 14th, a Sunday. The sun is shining. The ocean is unusually calm, like a sheet of glass. It's been a smooth journey, perhaps a little too smooth. You might be enjoying a brisk walk on the promenade deck, breathing in that crisp, clean sea air. Maybe you're chatting with a fellow passenger, marveling at the stars beginning to prick through the twilight sky. The ship is steaming along, making good time. Everyone's looking forward to arriving in New York. The anticipation is palpable. As night falls, the temperature drops significantly. You might notice the air getting colder, a sharp chill that bites at your cheeks. Perhaps you decide to head indoors, finding comfort in the warmth of the lounge or your cabin. The ship's band might be playing cheerful tunes in the first-class lounge. Couples might be dancing, children finally tucked into bed after a day of shipboard adventures. Life on board is a microcosm of society, vibrant and full of energy. Then, around 11:40 p.m., it happens. Not a huge, cataclysmic crash that sends everyone flying. Instead, a jolt. A shudder, almost imperceptible to some, like the ship had just rubbed against something. If you were in your cabin, you might think it was just an engine adjustment, or maybe a large wave. If you were awake and in a public area, you might feel a slight vibration, a sort of grinding sound that lasts for about 10 seconds. No alarms, no immediate panic. Imagine being on deck. You might actually see the ice go by, perhaps even pick up a piece, curious about what just happened. The initial reaction isn't fear, but confusion. What was that? People would ask each other, maybe a chuckle, thinking the ship just brushed against a pier. The crew would reassure everyone that there was nothing to worry about. After all, this ship was unsinkable, right? That's what everyone said. But soon, that initial confusion would give way to something else. Orders would start to come out, slowly at first. Women and children to the lifeboats. But wait, lifeboats? This was a drill, surely. The band is still playing. People are still laughing. There's a strange reluctance to believe anything serious has happened. The lifeboats, by the way, weren't even full at first. People thought it was safer to stay on the unsinkable ship rather than brave the dark, cold ocean in a little boat. As time wears on, though, the severity becomes undeniable. The ship begins to lift. Water is visibly rushing into lower decks. The grand staircase, once a symbol of opulence, is now a conduit for the icy Atlantic. The band, in an incredible display of courage and professionalism, continues to play hymns, trying to keep spirits up, trying to maintain some semblance of order in the growing chaos. Imagine their bravery, playing on as the water rises around them. The final hour. The ship tilts further, the stern rising higher into the air. Furniture slides, people scramble. The sounds of snapping steel and breaking glass fill the air. The lights flicker, then finally plunge into darkness, leaving only the moon and stars and the distant pinpricks of lifeboat lamps. The sounds become desperate, shouts, cries, and then the terrifying roar as the ship breaks apart. And then silence. An echoing, horrifying silence, broken only by the cries for help from the freezing water. The sheer scale of that tragedy, the thousands of lives lost in such a short time, is almost impossible to comprehend. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? To be part of such a magnificent journey, only for it to end in such a devastating way. But amidst the tragedy, there were also incredible stories of heroism, sacrifice, and the enduring human spirit. From the crew members who stayed at their posts, to passengers who helped others, the Titanic disaster is a powerful reminder of both human ambition and vulnerability. So next time you see a picture of the Titanic, or watch a movie about it, remember that it wasn't just a ship, it was a living, breathing world full of people just like us, experiencing the highest of hopes and the deepest of fears. And that, my friends, is what it might have been like to be on the Titanic. Thank you so much for joining me on this historical journey. If you found this as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures, and let me know in the comments below, what other historical events you'd like to explore. See you next time.